This is Marquis, man. Welcome to the podcast. The painkillers are in the building one more time. I'm Marquis.
And I'm AD.
And we're here to talk your pain away.
Yeah, man.
Man, season 2's been going good so far,
It's been going crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Numbers going crazy.
It is.
Subscriptions going crazy.
It is.
People talking going crazy.
It is.
Cray.
Cray. And if they keep going,
listen,
we're going to go crazy.
We're going to go crazy.
But, dude, what we going to be talking about today?
Hey, man, today, man, we got a special guest here in the podcast studio, man. I'm so excited to have him, man. I met this guy. He's from the South, man.
He from the South?
From the South.
What part of the South, though? You know, a couple different Souths.
Well, you know, like
Is it like the
Arkansas.
South? Arkansas. So
South,
like
brother.
Middle South.
Yeah. But man, I met him out here in LA, man. He's doing great things. Got an events going. He's doing rated R&B. He's doing
Love it.
Jazz nights.
Yeah.
I mean, for the grown and sexy.
So I mean, flow.
Yeah, exactly, man. So like, and he got a shoe line. So he's doing great things, man.
I love
and
it.
so, man, we asked my boy Eric to come on, man. So I'm excited to have him. And yeah, man. So right after we do the intro, man, we're gonna have Eric go on and start.
All right, patients, call all the patients to the room, man. We get ready to get started today.
Let's
go. All right, we'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back to the Painkillers podcast. We are getting ready to dive in. We got a special guest today, AD.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce our guest.
Man, you know, I got my boy Eric. Y'all may know him as Dr. Dapper. Dr. Dapper. What's up, man?
What's good? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, listen, man, I'm glad that you got that you, I was going to say you guys, but he always on. I'm glad you on. I'm glad you on here, Eric. I'm
Welcome
glad
to
you
the
are on here.
podcast.
Shout out.
Dapper.
And make sure you follow him on Instagram, Dr. Dapper.
He's always
It's gonna pop up right there at the bottom. Like.
the Dr. Dapper. He got the nice effects. Y'all know
The Dr. Dapper effect.
You got it.
So yeah, man. Dude, I'm so excited to have you, man. We're gonna have a dialogue on, you know, for one being a black man in America right now. Like in today's society, what is it like being a black man? And now we're going because then we're gonna go a step further because we're gonna talk about like being a black business owner,
Right.
black man business owner,
Right.
like in today's society, in today's culture, man, launching business, doing certain things, man. But Eric, man, what would you say like right now? What's the tone and the tenor for you being a black man in America right now?
For me, I feel like I have a duty, you know, representation.
Yeah.
You know, representation is key. And I feel like when I was growing up, you know, we grew up with nothing. You know, we didn't really see a lot of people that own businesses and, you know, were thriving and this and that outside of like the streets and, you know, selling drugs or rapping, whatever it might be. So I feel like as a black man in America today, it's really like shifting that narrative, taking control of that and making it something positive. So I'm really excited to be like, you know, one of the trailblazers or, you know, leading like this positive movement for black men, because representation, man, is everything. And, you know, I'm always rocking the suit. So it's like, you know, in the dress shoes. So it's like, even when I started the dress shoe company, it was something that a lot of people saw him as like something different, something cool. So they put the J's down for a little bit and they tried out the dress shoes because they were still flat, like stylish. Right? So I'm just, you know, I think as a black man in America today, it's like, you know, it's not just like, oh, this is just who we are, the sagging and the streets and this and that. It's like, that who told you that's who we are?
For
you know, because some people will say, oh, you're doing this, you're going against who we are as a people and our culture. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, like somebody told you that was like our culture. But because I want to carry myself a certain way and own a business, you know, create generational wealth and educate myself. You know, that's like the true meaning of like a black man, because we're powerful, we kings, you know. And I think that's we can pop it off like that. Just saying, that's how I feel being a black man in America.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It's like hitting it right where it is. Like my grandfather, I never saw him without a suit and a freaking hat on. Yeah. You know, so contextual, I think everybody has a different context, and I grew up in the inner city.
Yeah.
So, but my grandfather always wore suits.
Yeah.
Always wore hats.
Yeah.
And it gave me the notion that, I want to wear suits. I want to wear hats.
Yeah.
And then I did it, so
Yeah.
I totally get what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, like the same way, like my grandfather, I would watch my grandfather literally get up every morning, and he'd be like, he had set appointments, like with him and his friends, all his preacher friends. They would all meet up. It was either Cracker Barrel or Waffle House.
Gotcha.
And so they would go and eat breakfast. But like my grandfather would put a suit on every day. Yeah. Like, and it was about the representation. It was about how he showed up to the world every single day. Yeah. And I think right now, we definitely have the flexibility to dress how we want to dress and still be respected in that light, right?
Right.
But that's a luxury for us right now. Like, I can wear jeans with holes in them and throw on a hoodie and then walk into a business meeting and still be addressed as Mr. Adrian Davis, who's going to acquire this property and who's going to do this. But I probably gained that respect. Why? Because they probably looked at my credit score. They probably looked at my numbers. They probably looked at my bank account or whatever. My grandfather did not have that luxury. So what he did is that he was saying, I'm going to do this to show you that I'm a man of power and status.
Right.
Like, but even now, I got a slew of suits that I still wear. I still I put them on. I will show up as the best representation of myself. I want to show up as the best representation of myself, no matter what.
Right.
And no matter if I have on jeans with the holes in them, I'm going to look presentable. I'm going to look like somebody going to look at him like, I probably wouldn't wear that, but like, he fresh though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but like Eric said, it is that representation. But for me, being a black man right now in today's culture, I think shout out to our engineer Rashad. Our engineer Rashad said, he said literally being a black man in America is like playing a video game on the hardest mode.
Yes.
I can feel that.
Like when he said that, when we got in here, I was like, oh, I was like, Rashad dropping gems. I'm finna cut that mic on over there at the table and let him talk. Yeah. But like for real, man, like that's literally what it is. It's like, I think the playing field is not even still, but it's like, like we got so much against us. And if a black man speaks up, or if a black man says that he's hurting, or if a black man shares any sign of weakness with the world, they call him weak. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it robs us a lot of times of that vulnerability, and we got to reclaim that space. Like, I can say what I feel. What you gonna say?
I was about to say, I think a lot of people use it. Like, if we think about what's been going on with like the racial stuff, equality and all that, racism probably gonna be here until the day I die. For sure. So it's like, I feel like sometimes people use, not us in this room, but certain people might use it as a crutch to be like a reason why we aren't successful. The reason why I'm not on Beyonce's level. The reason why I'm not Jay-Z. The reason why I'm not AD is because, look what we're facing as a whole. And me, I'm like, fuck that shit. Yeah. I don't care if it's like the hardest level. Yeah. We play the game to get to the hardest level, then to beat it. So it's like, I don't use any of it as an excuse, because we all understand how it feels to come from nothing. And, we all understand how it feels to like experience racism. Fuck it. We the system is set up a certain way. So go create your own system. We know the world operates in a certain way. We know the school system is set up in a certain way. So teach your kids at home. Yeah. Build your own school, whatever the fuck you got to do. So I think we're not able to think big and outside of the box that we've been confined in by the society. So everybody, if you just continue to do the same shit to the same people, and you get a street named Black Lives Matter, that street don't mean shit. No.
Don't mean nothing.
Because who own that motherfucker?
Right.
And then we got MLK streets all over, and MLK Boulevards all over.
Exactly.
That ain't stopping niggas from getting killed on the street. And it might be a dude that look just like you. Yeah. It just killed you on MLK Boulevard. But we clapping because we got the street name changed. We clapping because Target burning. What we gonna go shop then? We ain't got no black owned warehouses and shit where they selling food. Yeah. So it's like we gotta stop. We can't use these things like the hardest level, and we're faced with all these challenges, because if they give you one thing, they're 10 steps ahead of you on it, because anything they give you, it's like, okay, we can give them that. Let's do that. You know, that's cool, because on the back end, we got something else set up to keep them kind of like, you know, they're not gonna really surpass us. So
yeah, I think you hit something real powerful in the head though. Is we're comfortable with never having ownership. We're satisfied with just getting the recognition, getting the name, getting the exposure, but ownership is really the key thing, you know. And I think within our society, we don't understand the power of ownership. So we give away our brilliance. We give away our culture. We give away our ideas. We give away all these crazy, amazing things, and we become satisfied with that. But I agree that we have to take away the notion of what we can't do. Yeah. And we have to formulate what we want to do. And I think when you create systems and you create pockets of influences for people within your culture, you can take over anything, man. Like, by dominating, creating, and starting things. Like, I don't believe that we have to be satisfied with the hand we've been dealt. Yeah. I believe that anybody who has your hand could kill it if they choose to. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah. It's how we play it.
Yeah, it's how you play it.
Yep. It's how you play it. Like, I've had technically a losing hand in spades plenty of days.
And still won.
Yeah. Because of strategy of how it's played.
And who your partner is too.
Yep, and who your partner is.
We only, us as people, I hate to see that we only come together for hashtags, for trends, for marching,
like
this,
Twitter.
and it's like, yo, why we can't come together for somebody starting a business and support that business? You know, why we can't come together for something that means more than just, you know, oh, I'm about to get to jump on this trend or this wave or this hashtag or everybody. I ain't go march for the shit. Cause like, why I'm going to march? I ain't trying to get shot.
I agree.
That's not my duty in this. And people look at you like, yo, why you ain't go march? You don't care about Black lives? I'm like, bro, I'm educating niggas. You know, I'm helping people start businesses. So my duty in this whole thing isn't to get out there and march. Mine is to be like, yo, on the back end, you trying to start the business, you trying to own some digital real estate, you trying to get into NFTs, you trying to start turn your passion into your paycheck. Because if you out there in the streets marching and you actually work for somebody somewhere else, you're not going to work because you like boycotting or protesting or whatever. And we'll boycott shit, but we want to cancel each other, but we won't cancel a brand, you know, and not go shop with them. Like when T.I. said they boycotted Gucci or somebody for like 6 months. Like, who the fuck shops at Gucci? What black middle class person shopping at Gucci every 6 months or every month in general? So that doesn't really do anything. It's like, so what do we really want? And what's the actual like process of getting to that? Because if we look at our civil rights leaders today, I think it's rap. It's like, yo, you're not supposed to be headlining this. You're not supposed to be at the front of this. Because if you look back, the civil rights leaders were, you know, pastors like you guys were. So it's like, you know, they had a different kind of approach, a different kind of like presence. And, you know, we talk about the suits. You know, people look at you. If you see black men walking, 100 black men, shout out to black menswear. Yeah. If you see a lot of black men walking down the street in a suit, you like, okay, bet, like where y'all going? Like this is like positive, like we're gonna figure out. Because a lot of times we just wear suits to go to funerals when people dead. So I was like, what's going on? But if church. In church to see y'all used to. So when we rocking suits, it's like I feel like it's just a different, like, just feeling. Like you step into a room, like you can be clean cut in jeans, because I wear, you know, casual stuff now. Yeah. But when you put on a suit, bro, like you approach different, you looked at different, opportunities look different, doors open quicker and faster. So it's like, you know, I just wish we could come together for other things versus just trends and hashtags and, you know, marches, because we see what's been done already and it ain't really changing shit. And it's like, okay, what can we do strategically to come together and actually plan, you know.
Well, I think a part of that is, man, that we have become such a reactive people.
Always.
So like we are so reactive and we're not proactive when it comes to anything. And what happens is that we wait until the bottom falls out. I mean, we see it every day. We see it every day. We would count, like you said, we would counsel people until they die. Then when they die, how much we loved them,
and
how amazing they were.
Oh my God, show all the positive pictures.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody that knows me know I'm from Tennessee. Know I've been a Dolph fan pretty much all my life. When Dolph was murdered, like literally, like I had people hitting me to check on me, like, yo, you the one that put me on Dolph. Are you okay? What's going on? And then to see like there were certain, like we want to come together for death.
That's crazy.
Anger, frustration. And it's like, but in the same tone and tenor, and I'm not using this as a plug, but same tone and tenor when I'm doing the Brilliant Boy documentary on systemic racism in the field of education.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, let's get behind this and let's push this narrative to grab these black boys before they become the black men that y'all are terrified of.
Mm-hmm.
Then don't nobody want to help that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Until somebody dies, and it's like, how can we? Because I'm like, yo, like you sitting around here, you quoting Black Lives Matter, but do they really? Or is it just the death effect that matters?
Bro,
it's an emotional response.
Yeah,
man.
it's emotional response.
And that's what we do. We are a generation of emotionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see how people react when you got on the newest shoes, or you see how people react when you pull up in the nicest car, or you see how people react when you are dating. Like, we're emotional beings.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to separate emotions from actuality.
Mm-hmm.
And we have not tapped into that. We don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Everything is sensationalism.
Yeah. That's so true. Because I mean, at the core of everything, if we were to grab a hold of 3 young boys, like 3 for every black man, and the thing is, like, the black men are limited because majority of us in jail, or we selling drugs, because that was what we settled for. And the thing of it is, like, as much as people want to talk about drug dealers, it would be no drug dealers if the powers that be didn't put drugs in it. We had nothing to sell. Like you brought the drugs here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you brought the drugs here. Yeah. We chose to sell it due to the fact that we needed money, and we were trying to do whatever we could to get ahead in that moment. And so now here we are, and there's still black men that are in jail for marijuana charges. Right. Now that marijuana is freaking legal. And really, there was nothing illegal about marijuana. The fact of the matter is, what was illegal about marijuana, and what reason why black men are in jail, because black men found a way to make money from it, and white men couldn't.
Yeah, they couldn't tax it.
They couldn't tax it. Yeah. The moment they found out that they could tax it, it became legal.
That's
everything is about money.
Yeah,
everything about money.
We live in a capitalism. It's all about capitalism.
Everything. So my whole thing is, if we had black men, like a lot of black men, to mentor and really grab a hold of 3 other black men, and I mean black kids, and I know that can be done in every situation. So, before people like, well, this black man got kids he ain't taking care of. I get I get it. I understand. But what I'm saying is that there, we use the phrase, even from a biblical standpoint, of it takes a village, right? And if it takes a village, then I think we need to get back to, like, pouring into people without the motive of how does this advance my own personal agenda, or whatever the case is, or how does this make me money? Because sometimes we got to do things beyond the profitability, but do things because of the passion aspect, right? But Boone, you say this all the time. I probably gave you credit for it 2 times, and now I've been saying it like it's mine.
I know how you do.
Yeah, shout out to me for stealing it from Boone.
Congratulations.
But now you said this, man. You told me the difference between African Americans and our Caucasian counterparts is what we leave.
It's inheritance.
It's inheritance.
He did it. Yeah. You dropped that. That's a big one.
That's it.
Yeah. Like
difference.
And I was like, man, like, and so then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, we leave bills, they leave wheels.
Yeah. Period.
So what does it do? It perpetuates.
That's yours, right?
Yeah, now that's
steal that from nobody, right?
No, I didn't steal that from Boone. I didn't steal that from Boone. Okay.
We leave bills, they leave wheels. That's yours too? Okay. Pastors be having quotables and stuff, real quick. A lot of them on the pulpit. I'll be having a lot of quotables. You just put them in your pocket and just took them with you into the other life.
This guy.
I'm going to use that one later.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. Oh, yeah, that was good. All right, hold on. Let me
write that down.
I'm gonna say, and I'm
unsaved would love that too.
That's the same on Instagram when they screenshot it and then they crop your name out of your quote.
Right.
It'd be your whole quote, the whole thing. They crop that. You know,
It's called content curation.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
I'll take that and use that real quick.
I'm gonna take it. But man, like it's that concept.
Yeah.
It is that idea, man. And my thing is if where we are now, if we don't create pieces of legacy, and it doesn't, and every time we talk about that, people are like, I done got messages from painkillers that we did, mannerisms that we did, where people were talking about, well, what, everybody talks about starting a business and so on, but nobody talks about the people that work the 9 to 5. And I'm just like, I get it. Hold on. I was like, but I honestly believe that if you work a 9 to 5, we do need people in the marketplace who work 9 to 5. Shout out to that. Yeah. But I do think that you need to be creating something that you can pass down to the next generation.
Yeah, because you cannot inherit a position. You can't leave behind your CEO or your vice president or what. Like, you can't. It's just not going to happen. You can leave behind businesses. You can leave behind trust. You can leave behind life insurance policies. You can leave behind assets. But you can't leave behind a 9 to 5. It's just not going to happen.
And
right,
even
pause.
people. Oh, okay, how about
Okay, we good. Okay.
and even people that that work 9 to 5s, I feel like it's just like going to college. It's what we're told to do.
Of course.
A lot of people, because I feel like college isn't like necessary if you know what you want to do, if you're passionate about something. If you come out of high school, you got this dream and this vision, and your parents support you. But even the 9 to 5 is because a lot of people's dreams and visions and goals have been like shit on. It's like, y'all, you can't do that. Like, you go get it, go get a degree, go get a job, and live your life. But you probably just birthed the next Will Smith, but you pushing him to go work a corporate job, and it's like
98% of billionaires, man, are not college degreed. You know what I'm saying? I think the educational system in America is one of the biggest robberies or schemes ever.
Yeah,
they say you go to school, get a degree for 4 years, and then when you get out of that school, they expect you to have 2 years of experiences when you apply for a job. So now I got a degree, but I have no experience. So nobody hires me. So now I'm getting nothing but a job that I would qualify for without the degree.
And then I'm in debt. And then
I have to keep deferring it. And then I'm getting interest payment. Like, it's just
and they'll give you that before they give you a business loan.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy because it's like we want you to, like, school literally teaches people how to go work for somebody else.
Yeah,
it's not about that. It's not about to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to own your own shit. It's like this system has been set in place from even when you were in elementary school. Like, I tell you when to leave, when you eat, where your bus at, the bell dismisses you, all this different kind of stuff. You got to pass this test, make this grade. So it's this system that's been, structured so well to benefit, the land that we live on. And it's like, damn, they really building soldiers just to go, increase their wealth versus like us understanding, the power we got, the knowledge we have, the wisdom or the gift that we were all naturally just birthed with. And we never get to tap into that because we don't have an environment that kind of like just pours into that. Because I could have a seed, but if I plant that seed, if I have a cactus and I plant a cactus somewhere where it's hella wet, that cactus not gonna thrive. So you gotta understand, like where you're meant to be planted. And when you understand that, you go plant yourself there, and then you water it, you nurture it, and then it grows and it expands. So we just have the wrong environments. And then, like you said, we gotta reach back and use our platforms for positive, to actually educate people and show people. I feel like a lot of people share more of the glory than the story, and we need to, and then we need to share the story because we weed out entrepreneurs and inspire entrepreneurs, and we can inspire other Black men to be like, you know what, AD did it, I'm gonna go try it, I'm gonna go do it, and that's what really holds a lot of people back, just taking that first step.
AD is definitely gonna steal that from you. I just want you to know that.
I got a lot of quotables too. I could just drop. I got a lot. But I'm gonna keep them in my pocket.
Eric always dropping. Eric and I did a live. I jumped on his live one time, and Eric he was just throwing out quotables. He was like, yeah, here goes some niggas for y'all niggas.
AD was like, you with that one right there.
Yeah, he jumped on his call and did it.
I was like,
right after that, you know what?
I was like, let me do an encouragement session real quick.
He like send out his text. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna be live in an hour.
Exactly.
I'm going to be all right.
Tune in.
Facts.
All right. So yeah.
But I do think that at the end of the day, man, it has to take a person who's willing to make that sacrifice for themselves for someone else. Like, that's the only way you leave inheritance, is that you have to live beyond your present and say, you know what, I'm going to think about someone else coming after me.
Yeah.
And most of us are not. We're trying to get to the top, whatever the top is.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the top, you realize that the top is not what you expected to be, or it doesn't do what you expect it to do. You know, it's a fantasy world. It's a unimaginable place that never really comes to pass.
Yeah,
a lot of people are very selfish, and I think we need more selfless people.
Yeah,
like you're saying, you know, we gotta really like think beyond our life.
Yeah,
you know, we have to, because it's bigger than us. And when you have something, when something becomes bigger than you, then you really got something.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, me for example, I lost a grandma, dad, and mom. So it's like, but within that, I saw how my mom, you know, thought beyond her life. You know, I saw that she knew that she was a vessel, and she was like passing the baton on to me so I can continue to sprint that race. So it's like, it's really crazy. And it's all about perception too. Yeah. You know, whatever your perspective is on the things that happen to you in life. I say positive perspective, you know, leads to like, you know, the really good positive outcomes. So I try to have positive perspective on negative, you know, situations.
Yeah. And I think as Black men too, one of the things that we need to shatter too, though, just culturally and across the board, is what we didn't have, and holding on to that for so much. Like, you know, so when it comes time, this is the reason why I feel like we can't mentor the next generation, because we're always thinking from the perspective of, well, I didn't have a dad and I turned out this. And I'm like, but sometimes you got to push past that and shatter that so that you can become what that person needs that you would have benefited from, you know, instead of using that mindset of, yo, I didn't have that, or I didn't get that opportunity, or this is how I had to start. And then we perpetuate that to the next generation.
Yeah.
And it keeps going.
Yeah. Like I think that in a lot of cases, whatever we did not have is because maybe we were called to be it. So we have to remove, like you said, that vernacular. We just like, yo, like stop. Cause I mean, yes, we can all say the father aspect, right? Yeah. And yes, there are lasting effects that still bother me, even from that aspect. But I'm not going to keep using that as an excuse on why I did not birth something else. I can't use the lack of my father being consistent or present in my life for me not being there with my daughter. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell Brigitte, hey baby, I'm sorry, I'm gonna disappear for 2 years.
This is what my dad did.
Yeah, that's my dad did.
All right, but
like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just not gonna do that. Yeah. You know, and so once we begin to work through our own biases and excuses, it changes everything.
And we got to do that across the board. Yeah, so that goes back to talking about the racism and the systematic stuff and the challenges and the hard game and the hard levels. That's across the board. Yep. Same thing, you know, family. Yep. You know, losing people, not having people there, not having finances, whatever it might be. And then also crabs in the bucket mentality. You know, oh, I got mine, shit. You got to go get yours, bro. Like, go get it how you got to get it. You do. And it's like, bro, you know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yeah. You know, and I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to go by themselves. And it's like, yo, we go so much further when we come together, you know, and actually make shit shake. But we scared to collaborate and work with each other.
But see, man, I say this all the time, man. Like partnerships, collaborations, man, you get further faster. And that's exactly what you said. It's the idea that, yo, like, I could do this myself, but it's gonna take a lot more effort and energy. And then also it's gonna take me operating outside of even my wheelhouse or my lane that I gotta operate in. I'm specialized in this. And I used to always think that it was negative for me to say certain things I don't do. Like, you know, like somebody be like, well, you know, I need this. I try to be all those things to people, right? Like, oh, like I'm gonna work like in administration. Like, I'm not good at administration, but what I am good at is visualizations, creativity, aesthetics, how things look. I am great at that. So why not just let me be great at that? You be great at that, and then let me not be intimidated by your greatness in that area. Like, but I think that's what hinders partnerships so much, is because it's like, you're great at that area and I want to be great at that area, but I'm not. Instead of just saying, yo, I'm not good at that, but Eric is, Boone is. So guess what? I'm going to partner with them so he can be great in his area. He can be great in his area. I can be great in my area. And then we have a great product, or we have a great system, or we have a great team. And me just not trying to do everything and letting stuff fall in the cracks.
Yeah, and most people who are trying to do everything is because they're trying to either fill a void that's there, and want to gain that acceptance. So if I can become this for you, it's gonna nurture or help me in an area, you know. Yeah. And sometimes being healed first and comfortable with this is who I am, this is what I can do, and I'm not trying to perform to gain your affection.
I'm not trying to perform to gain your perfection.
Yeah.
That's so
He
true.
about to.
He's gonna take some more. You know, this is welcome to the Painkillers podcast where AD steals the quotes.
all of them. Thank you so very much. There'll be a meme for that that will go up soon.
Yep. But man, this is an amazing conversation. I'm glad we started this, you know. And so as we prepare to wrap this up, every podcast, we give some type of prescription to our patients.
Yeah.
And this is what we want them to walk away with and work on or get filled outside of the podcast. So today, what do you say, AD, is your prescription? Then we're gonna let E give his prescription, and I give my prescription.
All right,
you got it.
There it is.
I ain't got the COVID shot for him. I got some. I ain't got that.
So my prescription would be, because we said so much in this thing, but my prescription would be to really work past your own issues as a Black man, so that you can leave the legacy in which that you desire to create. And legacy doesn't understand excuses.
It doesn't.
So you can give excuses all day long and legacy will not connect to it.
Right.
So you got to keep pushing. You got to keep working. You got to keep doing what you got to do so that you can kind of create your own and deal with that season of suffering. Like, I'm in that joint right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people look at the outside and they be like, oh man, you good. Nah, bro. Like, not for what I'm trying to create. You know what I'm saying? So be okay. Like, yo, we got to go through that season because what you are creating is going to outlast your breath. So if it's going to outlast your breath, it may take a little bit, longer time to create it. So that's my prescription. Y'all go get that field.
Get that field.
They can go to CVS or something like that?
Yeah.
They got somewhere special?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Go get that field.
So my prescription. I would say, I usually say this a lot. I say this all the time. Fail like a baby. Y'all ever heard that one? I heard that one. I can't use that one then because y'all heard that one. Y'all use that one?
We haven't used it. No, we haven't used it on the platform. So go ahead.
Okay, well, shit, I stole it.
There you go.
Fail like a baby. So I always say that because when I think back to when we were kids, I make everybody think back to when we were kids and we were just crawling around.
Yeah.
And I compare that to like life now as a business owner, as adult, whatever it might be. So I tell people continue to fail like a baby because if you understood what failure was and doubt and fear were when you were a kid, none of us would be walking today because what did we do? We crawled.
Yeah.
And then we're like, damn, everybody walking. Like I want to try to walk. Shit, that looked nice.
Yeah.
So we got up and we tried to walk. And the first time we try, we fall down. We get up again, we fall down. We get up again, we fall down. So having that resilience and tapping back into that childlike mentality as an adult, as an entrepreneur is so powerful because you really don't understand like what failure is and what doubt and what fear is. So, continue to feel like a baby. And then when you were a kid as well, when you tried to learn how to walk, you saw a table. You like, man, let me grab that table to get some stability.
Yeah.
I look at the table and the chairs like the people that you surround yourself by, your environment, your circle. Yeah. So make sure you have some tables and some chairs, some solid, some sturdy shit in your circle because that's gonna be.
He's a preacher, AD.
He is.
He's a preacher.
See, but I ain't told him all of that.
He's
yet.
A preacher, AD.
Yeah.
So that makes sure you have some good tables around you because that's
he building a sermon
and some chairs.
He played the drums in the church.
So one thing, it's a funny thing. My stepdad was a pastor. He was a pastor. My mom was the first lady that played the drums in church.
See,
everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a pastor. You're gonna be a pastor." I'm like, "No, the hell, I'm not. I'm never gonna be a pastor."
He's a rebel like me.
Same thing I said.
And then it's crazy that you can be a pastor or provide a sermon in a different way, in a different sense. Just like E.T.
Yep.
He a pastor in his own way. It's like so you can preach to people in so many different ways. And I realized over time, like, damn, I really be preaching to people because like the shit that flows through me and to me.
It's a spiritual experience.
It's just naturally. So,
that's a great prescription.
Great prescription. Now y'all get that feel, bro.
Feel like a baby. Y'all go get that feel.
Filled. And my prescription patience is basically going to be real simple, man. Start with one. Don't try to change the entire world. Pick one person, pour into them, sow into them, and let that person go out and do the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah, man.
Well, this has been the Painkillers podcast, man. I'm Marquis.
And I'm AD.
I'm Dr. Dapper.
Man, we appreciate you, Doc, for being on the Painkillers today, man.
That's love. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, patience. Till next time.